Well, thank you very much for inviting me here today. It's a pretty disturbing topic. To be honest, I find circumcision to be one of the more disgusting and reprehensible examples of religion corrupting our natural sense of morality, which is based on compassion and reciprocity, and not on this type of behaviour. The foreskin, at risk of making a banal, non-controversial assertion, is a natural, healthy and useful part of the human body. It protects infants from contamination when they have nappy rash. At any age, it protects nerve endings and keeps the penis warm and clean and soft. In adults, it helps in terms of, in sexuality it helps in terms of both sensitivity and in terms of natural lubrication. If it poses any health problems, cutting it off is a disproportionate response to those problems. Most of the supposed health problems associated with foreskin can be resolved by cleaning your penis properly and by using condoms during sex. The HIV studies show kind of mixed results, and insofar as they do show a possible protection, it is a protection that may exist, that a circumcised man may be less likely to contract HIV from a woman, but not to give HIV to a woman, but only if they are also consistently practicing safe sex. And cutting off your foreskin in order to reduce the risk of HIV is like pulling out half of your teeth in order to reduce the risk of tooth cavities. Just brush your teeth, clean your penis, wear a condom, and you don't have to cut off parts of your body in order to remain healthy. But the most important point about religious circumcision is that it's not motivated in any case by health concerns. It's motivated by worshipping a God that seems obsessed with the genitalia of human beings on the planet Earth. The God of the Judaic Bible tells Abraham and Moses to circumcise their children, or he will kill them. The first split in what eventually evolved into Christianity in the Bible comes when Paul is trying to spread the good news to the Gentiles. And he's telling them the message, and they're going, yeah, that sounds really good, yeah, eternal life, yeah, that sounds really great, how do we join? And he says, well, you just have to cut off your foreskin. And then suddenly he's got a bit of a marketing problem. So he has to try to persuade the rest of the Jesus disciples to allow Gentiles to follow the religion without mutilating themselves, which understandably they're reluctant to do because they're adults. And that's one of the reasons that religion insists on circumcising children when they're below the age, when they can consent to it, because they know that the purpose of circumcision is to desensitize and control human sexuality. And they know that if you leave the decision until the time that people are adults, that very few people will take up the option. If they want to, that's fine. I've no problem with adults choosing to mutilate themselves in any way they want. But don't inflict it on defenceless children. You know, it is a human rights issue. And human rights law, as was mentioned earlier, is moving gradually more and more towards respecting the fact that children have rights of their own. Religious rights, or human rights in the context of freedom of religion and belief and conscience, used to be protecting religious communities when there was a concern that religious communities might die out. And then they gradually evolved into protecting the rights of parents as heads of families to have their particular religious views and practices protected. But it is now moving towards recognising that the children have their own rights, irrespective of what their parents believe. And although it is unfortunate that the German government has fallen into religious pressure after the German courts recognised correctly the rights of the child, I think in the long run, or even in the medium term, we're moving in the right direction, and the rights of the child will be protected by courts and then cravenly and cowardly followed by politicians who will protect them on the basis of, oh well, the courts have made us do it. The final point I'd like to make is that male circumcision is part of the same mindset that justifies female genital mutilation. And that's really a debate for another day, but it is a much more serious invasion of human rights and a much more serious mutilation of the sexuality of an individual than is male circumcision. But it does show the mindset of the type of people that under any circumstances are prepared to justify the mutilation of the genitals of a defenceless child. So I'll leave it at that. I mean, you've no doubt heard the phrase, cutting off your nose despite your face. Well, circumcision is cutting off your foreskin despite your penis and despite your natural sexuality. If you want to do that for yourself, to yourself, go ahead, but don't inflict it on defenceless children. Thank you very much.